you guys sit
On
down.
your right, guys, it's Kadeem Allen.
Hey, could you find a chair, please?
On your right is Kadeem Allen, center is head coach Mike Montgomery, and on your left is Trey Holder.
Coach, what's your thoughts on tonight's game and what you guys got out of it?
Well, I think what happened the first night, I don't think they were very pleased with how they played. I don't think they felt we should have been able to hang with them like we did. So they obviously had that discussion, and they came out and they played really hard. I mean, you could see the difference between how hard they played, how hard they ran their cuts. And basically, for lack of a better term, they kind of threw the first punch, and they got us staggered a little bit. But I was really pleased because we bounced back. And once we figured that out, we kind of bounced back and got ourselves back in it. We had yesterday to work on some things. I thought we did a pretty good job of handling Baines. I thought our big guy really learned how to handle that inside, generally speaking. So we bounced back, but their pace got us out of whack a little bit. So we're running much faster, taking shots where we weren't really comfortable. So we go 4 for 21 from 3. We don't shoot the ball very well. And, you know, they're much more veteran than we are. You know, like I said to our guys, you know, the 2 players that are out of the Pac-12 that are on this team were both first team all Pac-12, which we don't have one of those. Plus, they're 7 years in the pros, at least. So that experience of how to play the game and so forth, we're up against guys that are really good players. And but again, I didn't think we got backed off. I thought we tried to compete. For us to win, we would have had to have everything go right. We'd have had to really shoot the ball, and we didn't do that. But guys accepted the challenge, and we played everybody. We played all 12 guys. I tried to get everybody, you know, at least some quality time, and maybe, you know, if you found 7, 8 guys that really kind of could compete at this level and so forth, you might stick. But we wanted to play everybody. Everybody gave up their time to come. So I thought Australia played much better. I thought he probably got out of them what he expected from them in this game, and I think that we probably helped them establish that.
Trey, how different is it, or how unusual is the opportunity for you to go against NBA caliber guys like Mills and Daly and Ingles?
Just the pace is a lot different than back in the States, and just how aggressive they are. You know, they have little tricks, pulling you, stuff like that. I bet they were in the same position when they played against other guys. They felt like they couldn't really do nothing. But it's a good learning experience for me, and I feel like the rest of my teammates are gonna learn from it and get better when we go back.
Could they look like their press was a lot more effective tonight than it was on Tuesday night? How did you guys find that?
You know, it was very aggressive. You know, they came out and trapped the guards in like the first 4 possessions, and we weren't expecting that. But yeah, like Coach said, they sped us up and had us taking quick shots. Like I said, we went 4 for 21. Did what they were supposed to do.
Coach, just wondering, what's your thoughts on using a 24-second clock in college and using a 14-second clock for second shots in the college game?
Well, you know, international changed and went to the pro 24-second clock. So everybody in the country, in the world, is using 24-second clock, except for the college game. But I think what that does is it changes the game. It doesn't allow you a chance to execute. Personally, I like the college game and a chance to run stuff and actually do things that you want to do in terms of good movement and execution, where the NBA game is certainly more about individual talent. So I'm not in favor of changing that. It will happen. There'll be a time when everybody's going to universally play the same game, and so it's just a matter of time. I just all the years that I coached and on the rules committee and so forth, I'd always say, college game, we don't want to be like the NBA game, yet we're seeing it go closer and closer to the NBA game as we go along. All of a sudden, the hand check thing, you know, we can't control a player and stuff like that. So I think it's inevitable. I'm not in favor of it, but they generally don't care what I think.
I like how we think anyway. Thanks, guys.
With an average of 5 freshmen, 5 sophomore, no seniors, you are the very young players on your team. Is this a learning experience for them? do you intend to play any other games while you're in Australia? And what next, basically for the team, for the guys when they go back home?
No, this opportunity came up fairly late, and so this wasn't something we had a lot of time to plan. And I think probably part of the reason that we're so young is because this happened fast, and in order to get players that didn't have to go to summer school or could talk to their professors and get out of summer school. I know Kadim's taking a class online while he's here. That we had to have the cooperation of the schools to be able to do that. So the way it turned out, we had a lot of younger players that ended up going. I think they will, like anything else, they'll benefit from it if they want to. If they pay attention and truly look at what happened and why it happened and what they need to get better at, that it'll really benefit them. And that takes maturity, and it takes looking at yourself and saying, gee, that guy did a pretty good job. He's quick. I mean, look how quick Patty Mills to get his shot is, and things of that nature. So I think they will benefit from it. I think that they'll look down the road and look back and say, there are things I can do better, and I've got to be able to do those things. Or maybe they will be a little more receptive when a coach says, look, you've got to develop a better crossover move. You've got to have a little bit better first step quickness, that type of thing. So, yeah, I think it will benefit them. I really do.
But, what do you think Australia's biggest strengths and weaknesses are?
Well, international players shoot the ball, but of course everybody in the thing's international, so everybody will shoot the ball pretty well. They're not as athletic as they need to be. I think they know that. We were able to create some opportunities with our kids and our quickness, and they have to work real hard at team defense to disrupt things. They're strong, they're physical. The thing about the Australians that I really like is they're very, very proud to represent their country. You can see that national anthem. They got their arms around each other. It's a very close-knit group of kids. They love being from here. They're very proud to be Australians, and they've done well as a result of that. I doubt that Bogut will play. Maybe he will. Of course, that gives you a pretty big, good inside presence inside there. If they were in a close game, Patty Mills would play a lot more. Dellavedova will come along. He just got cleared. He'll play a lot more. They shoot the ball well, and they'll execute well. They're going to have to play very, very hard to have a chance, I think, with the level of competition in the Olympics, but I think they will do that.
They've actually been pretty open about their goals of getting on the podium and possibly even going for gold. And what are your thoughts on that?
It'll be difficult for them.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I think it's going to be difficult. I don't know who all is playing for all the various countries around. I coached the United States team way back in the World Games, and boy, everybody, they were loaded. I mean, Italy and France and Spain, and they were loaded with talent. It's going to be difficult for them, but again, they play very well together. I think they understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. If they continue to move the ball and the ball goes down for them, they're going to be physical. I think they'll have a chance. United States team is awfully good, and they're a little bit weakened. Some guys elected not to play, but they're still awfully good. Why would you go into any tournament and not think you're going to win it? That certainly has to be your goal. So it'll be fun to watch them.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
That one's yours, Matt.
Is that Ingles and a few other guys in the watching here in the game?
Sure.
your thoughts on the game tonight and what the guys got from it?
Good improvement from Tuesday night, and that's obviously what this is about, is just inching forward and getting a little bit better each day. I thought we made some significant improvement defensively. Obviously holding them to 63 points at 32% is reflective of that. And I thought Tuesday night, stock standard thing, it's not through lack of effort. We were perhaps over anxious on Tuesday night and put ourselves in bad situations for trying to do too much, and it's about playing, sometimes about playing smarter, not harder. And I thought tonight the guys, really set a tone. That first group came out and really set a tone, and for the most part we were ruthless with that over the course of the game. That was our, and it needs to be our bread and butter. That needs to be your staple that you can hang your head on. So really pleased with that. The other thing, I guess, just reflecting back on Tuesday night, that I didn't fully appreciate until we reviewed the game on Wednesday and spoke to some of the guys about it, is how much it means to them to come back and play in Melbourne. And they were nervous, believe it or not, for the environments that those guys have been in. It means so much for them to be playing in front of their home fans and their family and friends, that they want to do well, and so they put additional pressure on themselves. And so I thought tonight as well, obviously we just played with a little bit more, we just played a bit freer in terms of our mental state. So pleasing, good progress from Tuesday to Thursday, which is what it's about. And now we get the opportunity to go overseas and continue to build.
The assist jumped off the stat sheet a bit there, 29 I think. What did you make of the passing from the guys?
Yeah, good. We had 26 assists on Tuesday as well, so sharing the ball is not a problem. It isn't with this team. And again, it's about, for us now, continuing to find one, our rhythm and spacing and all that sort of stuff, but we also had 19 turnovers, and some of those are just trying to do a little bit too much with the pass, and letting the offense do its work, utilising what we have available, and sometimes making the easy play rather than the spectacular play is the right option. And but certainly no problems, as you see, like we share the ball well, and the spacing was good. The spacing was much better tonight as well. So yeah, they're a pleasure to coach.
Andre, the press looked a lot more effective tonight. Brock and Cam, I thought did a great job in that front line there. What do you think of that time?
Yeah, that was part of, I guess, setting the tone defensively, and what we did was we were smarter in terms of, and I probably put them in a bad spot on Tuesday with what we started in. It was over aggressive. So tonight we just started with we started a bit more passively in terms of alignment, which enabled us to keep those guys in front of us, and then over the course of the game we were able to I guess be a bit more disruptive because we had them under control. On Tuesday night we were always on our back foot. Brock has really, that's one area where he's really grown, I think, in his journey with us over the last period of time, is his understanding of how to be disruptive at the front of our pressing defences, and his ability to sit down and slide and keep people in front of him. And Bear as well. Bear's really developed in that area over the last couple of years, and it's pleasing. That's what this is about, for us. When we sat down in 2013 as a team, we spoke to the 2016 goal and what that looked like over the next 4 years, and that's why we had players commit. Last year in an Oceania series, we basically had a full complement of players available to us because it was about a longer term commitment. And what that has enabled us to do is start from a higher base this time coming together. So, and we've seen players improve and grow, and when these guys go away on to their respective clubs, they go away with a bit of a plan as well as to what they're supposed to do in the Boomers environment or how they help in the Boomers environment. And credit to Brock, he's really spent a lot of time on working on his defence, which is one of the areas we identified together.
Andre, as the game has developed into a lot of times a three-point shot, you had one really good shooter tonight. The overall percentage of three-point shooting was very good, but I don't think the defence was there to stop your three-point shooting. And will you have to improve on this when you get to the Olympics?
I think our three-point shooting percentage is a reflection of the style of play that we have. and it's a continuation from the World Cup where, for the first time ever, Australia led the tournament in three-point percentage shooting. We're the only team that shot at over 40%, and I think it's partly due to execution and partly because we took the right shots. We also led offensive rebounding percentage as a result of that. So I think we're certainly on a good path that's going to enable us to shoot the ball at a good percentage. The thing at the World Cup that ended up hurting us is we turned it over too much. And so if we can clean up that and continue with the same shooting percentages and taking the same sorts of shots that we took at the World Cup 2 years ago, I think we'll be in a good position for success.
Andre, given the improvement between Game 1 and Game 2, how important are the 5 games going to be in South America, particularly who you play over there as well?
Yeah, and that's what am I feeling on the question about? Again, when we sat down in 2013 and we did a lot of planning and a lot of time and effort has been put into this, and it's not just what are we going to do this year. One of the things that was identified was like 6 games against quality opposition is the minimum that we need as preparation, because you just learn so much in the games. That's where you can have camp all that you want, but we will sacrifice camp days for games. We want to get, and you get exposed, you see different things, people play different ways, and that's where the growth and learning comes. As you see, between Tuesday and Thursday, yeah, granted, that's not the standard that we're playing at the Olympics, but there's growth. And so those games are important, and the quality of opposition is important. We're really pleased with the program we've been able to put together. Brazil, Argentina, Lithuania, fantastic teams, and we're hoping to get another game when we get into Rio as well, and it's looking like it might be Spain. And so that is exactly what we need heading into this competition. You need to play good teams.
Brock, how you felt you've played the 2 games and the start you've made to this Olympic campaign?
I think I've done a good job. I just know my role is to bring a lot of energy and try and impact the game that way, and whether it can be through rebounds, pressure defense, or getting easy buckets on fast breaks, I just know I have to bring that energy each time. I think as a team we've made steps, as Andre said, from the first game to now, it's like night and day. So if we can keep inching closer to peaking at the right time, and then by the first game in Rio, we should be good.
And what have you done to improve your ability in the press and your defensive play generally to meet what Andre needs?
Well, I think it's always been an area that I've needed to work on, and each time I go to practice, I just know that's something I need to focus on. In the EuroLeague this year, you can't have a weak link on the court, so I knew I had to step up my defense and keep improving, and that's what I try and work on each time.
Coach and Brock, you referenced the development since 2013 in terms of the program. What's the identity of the Boomers heading into Rio? What would you like the team to hang its hat on, I suppose?
Well, let me ask you, what did you see tonight?
Well, great intensity.
Mm-hmm.
I guess pride.
Mm-hmm.
Boomers jersey. Defensive hustle, great execution.
There you go. Beautiful. Done. Tick the box. That's certainly it. In terms of on-court stuff, the disrupted defense, being a team that's consistently just annoying to play against defensively, is something we strive to be. And then at the offensive end, certainly a team that spreads the floor and shares the ball and plays for the right reasons. And people sacrifice for the good of the team. And then just in terms of our off-court, the unity is without question with this group, and it's one of the things that once you get into this environment, you realise just what it means for guys to come and play for Australia, and many of them speak to the fact that it's their best basketball experience of the year because they're playing with their mates, they're playing with people who play for the right reasons, and they're playing with guys who give a damn about winning and losing, and so it's there's certainly a passion and a pride, and I think with this group as well, there's that little bit of sense of that it's time now. We need to do something special. We've been talking about it long enough, but this group has that certain belief, and I think it feels a sense of responsibility for Australian basketball, for all the good stuff that goes on, the junior development, the coaches, all the stuff that sits underneath this needs to be noted on the world stage. Opals have done a great job of doing that, but with the men we haven't done that yet, and this group I think wants to get that done.
What do you think of Darren's performance today?
yeah, good for his first game back. You know, he's practiced once with the group yesterday. Obviously, after the championship with Cleveland, there's apparently some celebrations or something that happens with that. So and then just the wear and tear on the body, like he's had to take some downtime, and so we just need to be smart with easing him back in. Most important thing for us is August 6th. You know, he doesn't need to be great tonight. He doesn't need to be great on July 20th. He needs to be great on August the 6th. And so, good first steps for him. The challenge for us will be keeping the reins on Delhi. He's just such an incredible worker and drives himself that we need to be smart about him not overloading himself and driving himself in the ground, so that, you know, by the third game of the Olympics he's got nothing left. So particularly with the way that we play, we ask a lot of our guys from an energy perspective, and so good first hit out for him. Good for him to actually play with these guys again, and yeah, you see what he brings to the team.
Brock, let's touch on earlier, but what's it like to play in front of a full house in Australia? Yeah.
Anytime you put the green and gold on, it's a tremendous honour, and playing at home in Australia in front of our own fans is something that's rarely done, so we make the most of it, and it's great that we had a big crowd tonight.
Andre, David Anderson didn't suit up today. Is there any reason behind that?
Yeah, he just his knee was a little puffy this morning, and it was just, again, medical call this time. You don't want to take any crazy risks. If it was the Olympics, he'd be playing. But we're just going to manage everybody. As I said, August 6th is our most important date at this point.
Did Ryan Brockhoff surprise you that he got himself up to play after
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, we always knew, like, the same on Tuesday, like, the tweak was minor, and had it been an Olympic game, he would have kept playing. But we need to be really smart with the way we manage everybody at this point. Health is extremely important. If you can arrive at the Olympics healthy, like, that's a significant advantage. And so I was actually a little surprised he played tonight, but the medical staff, I guess, assessed it and said there's really no additional risk than a normal player. His ankle was stable, so they were happy for him to get a bit of a burn, and obviously, as players do, they like to play.
Rob, how fun is it playing with this group at the moment?
Not just at the moment, all the time. From the guards to the bigs, everyone plays the right way. You go to your respective club teams, and I guess people have different roles, and they're playing for contracts, and they're playing for their own stats, I guess. But on this team, everyone's so unselfish, and I think it's really pure basketball, and it's really, I mean, I really enjoy playing this style.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.